Good morning everybody, and how are you all? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to bringing Dixie Lou into work. Obviously, name of the vlog, I've got 2 horses to work before 10:30 this morning, and Tricker's not being worked because she's still got nasty mud fever and she's quite sore, so they're staying in. So whilst I've got a break in the weather, I quickly come down and assess Dixie, and then we're going to bring Apollo down and do a little bit of in-hand walking with Apollo. Hi everyone, so I'm going to talk you through what we were doing this morning with Dixie, because I did say at the beginning of the vlog they were in because of the bad weather, but it did turn out to come out quite nice, so I got the girls out, which I was really happy with. Anyway, right, talking this through guys, because it is Dixie's first time being back into the school and back into sort of work. I was assessing her today because I wanted to see how she was moving, how our weaknesses, what were our weaknesses, what are our weaknesses, I can't talk, I'm so sorry, what our weaknesses are, what our strengths still are, and where I can improve, and how she is responding. Those were the 4 main points I wanted to look at this morning when I was lunging her a little bit. Now here she turns because she sees another horse going up to the field. I didn't mind, it wasn't an explosion like it used to be where she just like panic or use it as an excuse to get out of certain work. So here she kept her cool. Now I kept her in walk for a good 5 minutes on each rein. And I did this in the walk and in the trot. I didn't trot her for 5 minutes. Poor pony. She is very unfit. I wouldn't do that to her. But I did warm her up solidly in walk for 5 minutes on each rein, just to make sure she was warm enough. And I did a lot of transitions throughout that warm up. We did stops and walk on and back up, and that you'll see in a minute when I was asking her to back up out of my space. This is Dixie's not as bad rein, but it could be a lot better. The other rein is a little bit more worse. So there I was asking her to come into me and to stop just within reach, and she did it really well. And this was one of the things I was working on with Louise in our lessons, was defining my space and her space, and when she was allowed to come in to me and when I wanted her out of my space. Now that was something I still need to work on. I still treat her like a little baby. She is my baby, but I need to stop thinking of her as a baby and think, right, this is a 9-year-old horse. We haven't done a lot. We really do need to start realising what her speciality is. I didn't ask for trot. She's seen something at the corner of her eye, so I just tend to ignore her. This is the exercise I was on about, where I was asking her to back up out of my space. So what I do is I ask her to back up. She doesn't listen. She gets a small tap, and then the tapping there was just to like define, I want you to move your feet a little bit quicker when you are asked, and then sending forwards out of my space. She will pick it up. Again, she is unfit, and I am asking probably a little bit too much out of her this morning, I asked. So asking her up into trot. Now here you will see she is very stiff throughout her hind quarters. I expected that after a night in last night. She's a bit stiff throughout the shoulder and her pelvis. I expected that as well. It was something I expected from her. Now this is her worst rein, as you can see up in the trot. In the walk it doesn't look so bad, but in the trot you can definitely see this is her worst rein. Sorry guys, I had a cough then. I really needed to just stop audio recording for a moment there. Now this with Dixie, I wanted to see how loose and stiff that she actually was. Now I knew she was stiff anyway, but it was quite nice to see her do her dainty little trot she does. Now this is a bad habit Dixie has with rubbing her face. So she does get told off and pushed forwards just as fast as I sorted out my lunge line, so it didn't get trapped in her foot when she did her silly little movement. Which, if you know Dixie, she does quite a lot. It's Dixie. I still love the fact that I can give her a command and she knows that the command means change your rein. She is very good and precise on doing that command, which is absolutely lovely. It means all our hard work that we did at the beginning of this year, last year, and obviously with our lessons with Louise, that it worked, and she can retain that information that we're trying to teach her. Now this was her other rein, and as you can see, she's a little bit more softer, but she doesn't want to bend. So now this is my goal for the next month, is to get her to bend and use her body correctly on a circle. Now here I could see something was not right. I thought, right, she's caught something in the corner of her eye, and she's scoping it out. One, she's either going to explode like she used to, or two, our hard work has paid off and she's going to ignore it. So I brought her down into walk. I wanted to make sure that if I brought you into walk and you had seen it, then there's not going to be an issue. So I want you up into trot once you've done it nicely. So I put her back up into trot, and I could see at the corner of my eye that, yeah, she's clocked onto it when she's coming around that corner. Asked for the trot again, and this is where she does this. But her doing that, I sort of knew was coming. But I was very happy with how fast she brought her brain back, and just wanted to go back down to her walk and look at it again as she went around, which for Dixie is progress. Whilst I wait for her to decide if we're leaving the school or not, I'm not going to work her that hard. She's very unfit. Come on, Dix. Oh, we got hiccups. Come on. Walk on. She's fascinated by something outside the school. She says school's safe, I don't want to leave. But yeah, she's very unfit. I have a lot of work to do on rebuilding her muscle. Oh, good girl, well done. Rebuild the muscle over her top line, rebuild her back end and over her pelvis area to make that just a little bit stronger. Because you might have seen, oh, hello. She is a lot better at settling herself down when something scares her. But, you know, just to be on the safe side, it's very windy. We're going to rebuild and see how that goes with her. Obviously, she's just worked really hard. She remembered all her cues, which was nice. It's just now a case of getting the work frame back in. I dropped my lunge line, which is not helpful. Dix, you're making me seriously walk down the ditch. Get up. Come on. She just had a mouthful of grass. But that was very good for her. So, very happy. I'm stuck now. Now let's go get the next one and check what time it is. Right, Apollo. It's okay. It's okay. It's just Dad. Right, go do some walking. Good girl. So, Apollo's first time down in the school. We are very, very lucky to have a nice big school, and I absolutely love riding in this school. It's amazing. And it's so wide, it is very wide, and it is long, which is nice, especially when Trigger decides she's going to bolt. But no, I do love the school a lot. Anyway, moving on. I decided I was going to take Apollo around just to have a look around the school, since it was her first time. She's been here for 3 weeks now, and this was the first time taking her down into the school. Now, I was only doing in-hand stuff with her, just getting her to walk independently and not walk directly behind me. Hence, I have the crop just to give her a little bit more of encouragement. Instead of trying to turn around and tap her and that, I thought if I've got the whip there, just to like give her a gentle nudge to move forward, so she was walking alongside me and not behind me. Now, up at the top of the school, sorry guys, top of the school, she was very good and very interested to what was in the hedges and on the floor. She just wanted to look at everything. She is so easy and chilled. Now, Apollo has a beautiful walk stride when she opens up the stride, and it's so easy and nice to walk with. It's a lot like walking with Trigger on the length of her stride, but not as quickly, if that makes sense. Trix does walk incredibly quick. Apollo's just like nice and chilled and relaxed and happy. So after I'd done this like first lap of the school, I thought I'm going to ask her to stand and see how we get on with our standing. And I probably didn't ask her in the correct way, because then we had this little bit of a turn. And my trousers were absolutely winding me up to hell on earth. So hence the reason I have spare clothes in the back of the car, and I did get changed after walking Apollo around, because I was getting fed up with my clothes just winding me up. It was just driving me insane. Now, I was in the middle of a flare up as well. I wanted to see how she would react with me just giving her that little bit more of an extra space and an extra line. And it was quite nice to see her just want to be with me. Sometimes Dixie doesn't want to do this, and sometimes Trix doesn't. So for Apollo to go, yeah, I'm coming with you, I want to go with you, was really nice to see. Now we went on the other rein, and at the top end she looked at everything yet again. And I tried to keep her on the track and see how well she did with me just asking her to move out just a little bit away from me, because I kind of felt a little bit trapped. It was my fault, I was walking on the wrong side of her, but I do have to learn to walk on either side of her, just in case of some situation further down the line. You know, we need to learn to walk on both sides of her, which is in the idea of making it all with her, is just taking it day by day and see how she gets on. So I took her up top end of the school, and I thought, I really want to see this mare trot. I've seen her trot in the field, I've seen her canter in the field, but I really wanted to see how big of a stride she had in her trot. So I did decide I was going to ask for just a tiny trot. Just a tiny trot. My dad was laughing at me there because my trousers were falling down as I was running. I just let go of the rope because I was trying to hold my trousers up and run at the same time. But she was really good, and I thought, right, alright, if you want to walk, I'll walk. And I gave her a bit of a longer rope, so she was just like, yeah, I'm off investigating. This looks nice. So she went over and had a sniff of the mounting block and some of the poles that were there. So I just thought, right, I'm going to let you sniff for a second. Let me sort my clothing out because it's driving me up the wall. Gave her a call, and she came straight back over, and this is where I was ending with Apollo. I thought, that's enough. We've had a walk around. You've looked at things. Enough is enough. Time to go in and get you ready to go out. A quick change. This is why I wanted them out, because they're freaking hyper as hell. Bye, girls. And they're gone. Oh dear me. So, that's all three girls worked. Other than Trick, sorry. Oh, two girls worked other than Tricker, because Trick still has a touch of mud fever that we're currently treating, and I wanted to get her up. She's been in for 2 days for 2 sets of treatment with the Mud Buddy cream and obviously purple spray. So I wanted them out. Dad's just gone back up to get Apollo because I am absolutely knackered already. So Apollo did really well for her first time in the school, and she worked hard and she concentrated roughly 10 minutes, and that was all she needed, and she was really, really good about it all. So I've got no issues with her. Dixie was really good, and it was nice to assess her to see how her leg's doing. But yes, ending this vlog on turning the girls out. I might get a video of Apollo when she comes down with Dad and add it into this bit. Good girl. Steady. It's okay.
Come on then.
Good girl, Apollo. I've got to sort out your head collar before Grandad goes. Lets you off.
Come on then.
Good girl, Apollo. Good girl, Apollo.
Stand. Stand.
But ending the vlog with the 3 girls out in the field. Apollo is now out with the big girls, so I haven't got to worry about her. Her and Trucker are still warming up to each other. Dixie and Apollo are nice to each other in the field, but in the stable Dixie's still a bit towards her. But yes, all good, all happy.